What's up, guys? Eloy from 7-4 here. I'm going to talk to you guys about my Walther PDP match steel frame. Okay, right now this is my favorite striker fire gun. Okay, and that's largely due to the trigger. Okay, so what do I do with this gun? Okay, it actually doesn't have too many modifications. Okay, first thing I did when I bought this gun, thanks to my friend Sammy, okay, is I bought the Springco trigger spring kit. It's under 20 bucks, and in his words, he said, "Hey, spend $17. It's a $17 trigger job, and you're done. You're done with the trigger." And he's 100% right. Okay, if you guys have not tried these guns with that simple trigger spring kit, give it a try. You won't disagree with me. Okay, there is no better trigger for a striker fire gun than this setup. Okay. Next thing I did was I went with the ZR Tactical Long Stroke guide rod system. Okay, if you guys aren't sure what that is, look them up. They can explain it a lot better than I do. But what it just basically does is instead of coming all the way back, hitting that wall, and you feeling that jolt when you shoot the gun, it allows the gun or the slide to cycle back even farther than the ejector. Okay, so you're never hitting that wall, and when you shoot, it just turns this gun into an even softer shooting gun than it already was. Okay, it is a weird feeling because you're not getting that same push. It does take some getting used to, but when you do, it's such a pleasant shooting gun. Okay, light, I have an X300 made by Surefire, and then I'm running a Holosun 508T. Okay, grip is a lock grip. This is the standard side bogies grip, and it's a must-have for this gun. The factory grip, it's just not great. Okay, the gun, even with its weight, it can still move around in your hand, and with this grip, it's locked in there, and it's not going anywhere. The magwell is a factory magwell. This is by far my favorite striker fire gun to shoot. Okay, and the best shooting one. Okay, but it wasn't always lovey-dovey at first. Okay, I had a love-hate relationship with this thing, and mostly because the magazines. Okay, I do have a Walther PDP polymer frame. Okay, and the thing that frustrated me was the magazines on this gun would stick. Okay, it didn't do it on my polymer frame, but for this one, they would stick. I would go to do a reload, and the magazine just didn't want to come out. Okay, you do also have magazine over insertion issues with these. If you don't have the correct base plates and you slam that magazine inwards, if it goes too far, you can damage your firearm. Okay, now base plates. I tried different companies, and even though some of them they claimed that it works with the steel frame and the factory magwell, they didn't. Okay, I ended up using the ZR Tactical ones, and even these I had to modify them. So on the corners here, I had to shave them down, and then I polished them out so that they can drop freely. Okay, because without that, they would stick also. Okay, it's not a fault of their company. They do mention that you may have to modify it. Okay, and I did. So, how does it shoot? Awesome. Okay, even at 100 yards, I'm able to constantly and consistently hit 100 a C-zone size steel target at 100 yards with no issues at all. Okay. Super accurate gun, shoots awesome. This trigger is awesome. I just tested it earlier because somebody was asking me, and I was like, this thing is awesome. And they said, well, what's the trigger breaking at? Well, 1 pound, 13 ounces. I mean, there is no other striker fire gun that is going to have a trigger like this. Okay. Clean break, super crisp. That reset is ridiculous. Okay, I would say the reset on that will rival even some of the 1911s. Okay, Would I buy this gun again? Yes. It's not cheap, but given what you got, I spent a lot more on my Glock build than this gun. As much as I spent on my Glock gun or on my Glock build, I could have bought two of these guns and it's not going to shoot like this. Okay. And especially after having this thing for 2 years, it's still the best striker fire gun that I own as far as shootability. Okay. Would you carry this on duty? Probably not. It's really heavy. Okay. Um, Even my XC is kind of stretching it as far as how much weight I want to carry during a 12 plus hour shift. But if you're shooting a match, okay, and you want to shoot limited optics or carry optics or even production without um, any of this other stuff, it's going to be hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat, guys. But in the end, it doesn't matter how well the gun shoots, doesn't matter what parts you put on it, it comes down to your training, okay? If you suck, doesn't matter what you shoot, you're going to suck. You just can't buy skill. Okay. So the most important thing is make sure you guys keep training and make it a lifestyle. See you guys.